Hello, everyone. Whew, it's William here at Allegory Gallery, and it has been a rush to get here, y'all. I hope you're all doing well out there. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching the rewatch, please feel free to comment. We do try to check our comments afterwards. Also, please like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever you can do to help out this small business, we hope you'll do. So, how are y'all doing? How's your week going? It is Monday, right? I'm like, am I on the right day? I have no idea what day it is most time. So it is Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're having a great one. It has been a beautiful day here in Ligonier. Absolutely gorgeous. We are having, it's 69 degrees right now. That is the high for the day. It is sunny. It is breezy. I look like I just took a shower because I've been working in the windows all day for most of the day, trying to redo our window displays. And between, even though it's nice and breezy outside, when you're behind lots and lots of panels of glass, it's warm, y'all. So I've been working on the store all day. I just finally had the bright idea to turn on the air conditioning. So hopefully it'll cool down in here a little bit. We had the heat off, but I didn't have the air conditioning on. Why? I don't know. You know, I always hesitate because we kind of control the temperature for the whole building, at least for the heat. So if I turn off the heat and it gets really cold, then everybody else gets cold, and it takes a while for the whole building to warm up again. So I always have this dilemma in my head. And you know, I'm an anxious person, so this dilemma in my head is probably bigger than I make it out to be bigger than it really is. But I always hesitate to turn on the air conditioning until it's like really needed. And so I roasted most of the day, probably unnecessarily. But hey, we're here now. I'm not complaining. I got a lot done today. I got the windows cleaned, at least most of them. I still have to do the other display, and I did one window display. I have to do the other one. But I got all the outside windows cleaned, which was a big job. If you don't know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. We have 24 panes of windows. So we have 24 windows. You've probably seen the outside of the building. So there's 24 windows on each side, and we have to clean the inside and outside. And I need like a pole cleaner to clean the topmost ones outside. So I got them cleaned. I can now see out the windows. People can see in. It's great. I've been waiting to do that for a long time, but I wanted to try to get through some of the rain that we've been having. But I said today, I'm like, it's a beautiful day. It may rain tomorrow for all I know, because you know I don't check the weather most days. But I'm going to clean the windows. So I got the windows cleaned. I got one side, I got the window display done. Probably on Wednesday, I'm going to work on the other side of the display, the other window. And we'll try and get that done. It's been a day, y'all. And I have a headache. I have had a headache since mid-afternoon yesterday. I have taken so many pills. I have tried to get rid of it. And it comes and it goes. And right now it's coming really, really a lot. Right in there. It's like, so I've been working with a headache all day, trying to take pills. I'm also fasting, which is not why I have the headache. I got the headache before I got started the fast. But I've decided I want to try fasting because I talked about this in the other in another video when we did a Let's Chat. And by the way, I lasted about 41 or 42 hours for that fast, and then I had to stop because I was getting a headache. So that's what happened with that one. But I think every Sunday night at midnight, I'm going to stop eating, and I'm going to go at least through Monday and part of Tuesday. And if I can go to Tuesday at midnight, that's great. If I can't, then I'll stop before that. So I want to do at least a 36-hour fast every week at the beginning of the week. It really made me feel good to do the fast the other day. Or the other week last week, and I think it was needed, and I think it helped my body sort of resort out a lot of things, and so I'm going to keep trying to do it. So let's see who's with us today. Hello, Suzanne. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, Teresa. Hello, June. As I saw June, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Sandra is with us. Norma is with us. Amanda is here. Hello, hello. Andrew says it's so hard to keep the outside clean. It is. We have traffic all day, every day, and trucks come through town too. Like big trucks come through town and buses come through town. Our windows will be dirty in a day or two again. But it was getting to the point that sitting here, I could look out the window and I could really see a lot of splotches and stuff. So I wanted to get that cleaned up. So I got that done. How's everyone doing though? Please hit the share button right now. Everybody just hit share. Go do it. Go hit share. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. I see 16 people watching and I have 2 thumbs up. I think it only tracks Facebook thumbs ups though, from what I'm thinking, from what I'm seeing lately. But please hit the share button so more people know that we're broadcasting. Our numbers have been like low. And I think the reason for that is anytime, and I've tested this a few times and it has come out to be true in my tests, anytime you put an outside link on Facebook, Facebook kind of penalizes you for that. They don't share your post as much. I did a post where I said you have to look in our bio for the link or in our About tab for the link, and it got so many more likes and shares and views compared to the other posts that I did that actually linked to our website, for example. So it's, I think it's a thing. And a lot of other people, I've been noticing other people doing that now too. And that's what made me think about it. I saw a few other businesses say, hey, Facebook doesn't share our posts as much if I put a link. So go to our About page or go to our bio and find the link. And I think it's true. So I don't know. You know, it's one of those things. So please share. Because we're linking all of these to StreamYard, because that's who we stream from, and we're not streaming directly in Facebook, I think we get penalized for that. So please hit the share button and let your friends know that you like us. Hopefully you like us if you're watching us, and that we have good stuff to show you. And if they are makers or beaders or stringers or jewelry makers of any sort, they might like what we do. Hello, Barbara. Thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to chat a little bit, like we always do, and then we're going to take a look at some of my favorite, mostly, I'm not going to say mostly, but mostly gemstone strands. But I have some other things from around the store floor that I wanted to bring to your attention that are currently kind of my favorites. I've been moving some things around and, you know, doing some spring cleaning and dusting, and it's been kind of re-energizing my brain to certain things. I don't know if you know me, but I'm a little bit fickle sometimes. I have my favorites and then they change quite often. So you will see through the Williams Favorites videos, sometimes you see some of the same things all the time, and those are like hardcore favorites. But my favorites do change, and it depends on the season, it depends on how I'm feeling, depends what color I'm into at the moment. I've always been kind of a fickle person that way in my likes. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but I do have lots of favorites that change. So Andrew says, I'm always a favorite though. Yes, Andrew is always a favorite. My cats are always a favorite. All you out there are supporters, my favorites. You all watch this, and I know who watches these. I know who watches them. I know you're my favorites out there, right? No, I don't pick people favorites. Do I? Hello, Deborah from Fort Lauderdale. Thanks for tuning in. Susan is with us. Hello, Susan. Thanks for joining us. Andrew says, I also think it's that time of year when school is ending and outdoor chores are calling, so there's always a dip in foot traffic and viewers. Yes, I had one customer today. Thankfully, if you're watching, that customer, it was a nice sale. She needed some chain mostly, but bought a few different kinds of chain. So that was a nice sale, and we had a good time chatting. Unfortunately, she did have to wait outside for about 40 minutes because we opened late. But we were concerned about Barnaby this morning. He was making a weird coughing noise, which is different than, like, we're tuned into his coughing. He's making a weird coughing noise, and I was very worried about what's going on. But I think he just had like a major hairball or something. So I didn't see him eject anything. But I wanted to wait around the house until he was okay. And of course, when he is on my mind or any of our cats are on my mind, I forgot to put up the post that we're running late. So if you're watching, again, sorry. But or if you stopped in and we weren't around, sorry. But I think our neighbors took the time, thankfully, out over at Bev and Tom over at their candle shop. Sensational Ideas. They did some talking and chatting and entertained while we were getting here. Andrew says, I do, meaning he has people favorites. He does. So I don't have much other to say today than that, because my day was fully all about the windows. And I don't know if you have ever done a store window anywhere in your life. But probably if you've ever arranged or rearranged furniture or any room of your house, you have to tear up a lot just to make that one window or do that one room, right? First, you have to pull all the stuff out of the window. Andrew says it's fun the first few times, right? You have to pull everything that's in the window out. And then, of course, there's no place to put that stuff because that stuff was in the window. That was its place for a while. So there's no place to put it. So you got to make room for all the stuff that came out of the window. Then you got to clean. So you have to vacuum and dust and do the windows, wash the windows and get all of that ready. And then you have to figure out what's going to go in the window. And you have to pull things from the store floor that's going to go in the window. But then you have to figure out, okay, well, I want to put this pendant in the window, but it doesn't have a chain because, it's our pendants. We're just going to put the pendant. So you got to find a chain. You got to put that together and put it in the window. This doesn't look right. Then you got to move it around. This doesn't look right. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of brain work to figure out what to put in the window. Like, some people, I think, just you have a store and you throw things in the window. Okay. But we like to be a little bit more, I don't know, artsy about it, or a little bit more like, we have a lot. We have beads, we have jewelry, we have art, we have home goods. We have a lot of stuff, y'all. We have specimens and rocks and crystals. And you want to show a little bit of everything, but you don't want it to look like a flea market, right? So I hope it doesn't look like a flea market in our window, but I tried so much to show a little bit of everything we do, because you never know who's going to walk by and what eye you're going to catch. Let's see here. Susan says, you have to make a mess to make improvements. You make a big mess to make any improvements, right? Donna says, hello all. I've been listening, but finishing cream of celery soup. That's good. Nice. Jennifer says, yes, it's a big job. I have a gift shop boutique in our historic district. It's a lot of work, but it can be a lot of fun to change things up. Yes, I am always like 100% feel better after the window is done, because I'm like, it's like no matter how happy I was with the previous window, I always feel better about the new window. And I think that's me being fickle, because I get tired of the old window and I forget how great I thought I did in that window, and so I move in the new stuff, and then I'm like, oh, this is even better. This is better than the last one. So I think I did a pretty good job. I like what I did, I think. We'll see how it looks at night. It's always different at night and day, but we'll see. At least it's different, and it gives a good idea, I hope, of some of the things we do. I don't have a lot of jewelry in this window. I focus mostly on stones and crystals and some of the odds and ends that we do, home goods and things. So the other window will be more focused on jewelry when I get that done. Andrew says, I used to change the window every few weeks. It was constantly a big job. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's always a lot of work. I think back to the days when I worked for the French boutique in New York City, and we used to beg to be able to do the window because the owner was always the one who did the window. And she was very reluctant to let anyone else do the window. And we would beg to do the window. And we loved when she would let us do the window. And now I'm like, can I get somebody to do my window? Actually, I really kind of enjoy it. But if I could have people that followed me around and cleaned up after me and put things away, that would be perfect. That would be how to do the window. So maybe I'll do the other window on Friday when Jen's in for classes. If it's slow for classes, Jen can help me do the window. Let's see, who else is with us? Who else? Jennifer is saying, and I have to be careful and I have to be careful items near the window aren't affected by the sun. You're telling me. I we let some of our helpers do the window before, and unfortunately some of the gemstones are not necessarily meant to be in direct sunlight for hours and hours and hours. So some things have faded. Nothing huge, but some things that shouldn't have faded. So we have to be very careful with things. And if I know I'm putting gemstones in the window, I have to be sure that those stones, if they're on already made jewelry, I have to make sure they're not going to fade. But if they're just specimens and things, I have to be sure that if they do fade, I'm okay with that. And that's always one of those things, right? Let's see. Amanda says, will you post photos of your new window displays? Probably not. We don't usually. It's very hard to get photos of our window displays because our windows aren't one big window. They're many panes. There's 12 panes per side. There's a side and a front on each window. There's 12 panes, and the outside where the panes connect, I don't know what those are called. It's very hard to get a picture. The pictures never look great. It's very hard to show what I did. So probably not. Hello, Harry. Thanks for joining in. Susan says, a friend who owns a jewelry shop here has to put away anything valuable at the end of each workday. We're very lucky that we don't have to do that. I can't imagine putting stuff in your window and then having to pull it down every day or pulling things from the store floor every day. No way. So thankfully, we're very lucky that we don't have to do that. Our town is pretty good that way. Knocks on wood. Let's see here. Jennifer said a cleanup crew would be awesome. I could use one too. I know, right? I know. Andrew says just show people when it's done. Yeah, maybe we'll do a live or show you, but it's hard to take pictures. It's really hard, and it's actually usually better to see at night because there's so much glare on the window during the day, and sometimes you can see it better at night. So maybe we'll show it when everything's done. We'll show both sides maybe. Anyway, how's everyone? How's your Monday? I've been doing a lot of talking lately, and you all have not been talking too much in the comments. So I want to hear how you're doing because I feel like I do a lot of talking and we don't hear from a lot of people. So how's everyone? What are you doing? I'm just going to wait here until you all tell me how you're doing in the comments. What if I did that? What if I just stared at you all? Pretty awkward, right? I still don't have any comments about how anyone's doing. Sandra says you need minions. Yes. Andrew's been busy lately. He says busy lately. Yeah, he's been crazy busy between classes and painting and jewelry making and raising copper vessels, apparently. Andrew says we had a good weekend. We had a good weekend. Yeah, I think, right? I don't remember the weekend much. It's been long. I went to work. I was here at the store both days. I threatened to close on Sunday. I was like, I need a day off. I almost closed today. Thank goodness I didn't because we had a nice sale today in the morning, but I could have closed the whole rest of the day because nobody even walked in the door after noon, which was kind of nice when you're doing the window. That's kind of a nice thing, not to have a lot of people around, especially because I make a mess. I still have a mess, but we're closed tomorrow. Nobody's coming in, so I don't have to worry about that mess. Norma's been walking. Oh, good. That's good. I like that talk. Glad you're getting out there and walking. I know that was a thing. It was a hard thing to start for you, so I'm proud of you. Thank you. This exercise thing, I was talking to our next door neighbor, Tom, over next door at Sensational Ideas, and he's been trying to walk. I guess when he turned 50, he tried to, every year for his birthday, it was his job or his gift to himself to run a mile. And he said when he turned 60, he stopped doing that. So he's trying to get back into it. So we were talking about exercising, and he's going to the YMCA here in town. in the mornings and exercising and doing some treadmill and some other things. And he went to the track, I think, at the school. Here was it? I think it was yesterday, or Saturday, maybe Saturday, I think. And he said that he ran his mile. So it wasn't as fast as he wants, but he did it, and that's great. So I'm glad people are getting out and doing things. I have been slacking off a little bit on my exercising. This was a rough weekend for me. I was in a bad mood, mostly Friday and Saturday, I think. And I don't know why, but I was in a really, just anything could make me angry. And I don't know why. Susan's doing good, enjoying a bit of sun. Yes, it's nice, right? Suzanne said, decent, but a friend is in the hospital, supposed to go to rehab today. But I have not heard if he was discharged. Some doctors are STTT. Yeah. There are some wonderful doctors out there, and then there are some doctors who just don't, they feel like they don't care. And I hate to be like that, but it's true. My family has seen a number of them. When my grandmother was in the hospital, my mom and aunt both made sure that either one of them or both of them were around, because they would try to bully my grandmother into doing things or not doing things. And my mom and aunt both read up a lot when things are going on, and they do a lot of research and a lot of reading about things. And they were very careful, both my grandparents, when they were in the hospital, to make sure that they were there and that they were kind of very involved, because otherwise sometimes it's really hard, and that's a shame. But that's also, in this country, unfortunately, the more patients you get through, the bigger your paycheck, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. It's so hard. Amanda says, I'm pretty good, making oven-baked Korean chicken with rice and coleslaw. That sounds delicious. Coleslaw sounds delicious by itself even. Maybe I'll stop. No, I'm fasting. See? Can't. I was like, maybe I'll stop at the store and get coleslaw. No, I can't eat today. I can't eat today. Harry made 2 new horse figures, a bowl, and a new print project. Most of the new animals went to new homes. That's nice. I see, Harry, you're also very much into your gel printing. I like to see what you're doing with that. And you were talking a little bit about how inspiring it is for other projects. So that was very cool. Jennifer's having a great day working in the garden. Sundays and Mondays are our days off. Back to the shop tomorrow. Nice. I wish I could take a day off. That would be nice. Even Friday, Jen was in for classes, but even then I did the banking. I ran things back between here at the store and the cottage for things that were needed. It was just, even then I didn't get my normal or really time off. And then I went and I mowed the grass and I cleaned up some of the yard debris. So that was my Friday. Typically I try to take Friday off if I can. Donna is trying to get the red, white, and blue theme going through the house for summer. Nice. It's nice. We don't worry about themes in our house. I'd like to be one of those people who was always on top of it like that, but we are not. Andrew says, if you weren't fasting, I'd say order food. Never fail. Whenever I'd bite into something, someone would walk in. It's true. Like yesterday, I think it was yesterday. I was very hungry, and I went over to our friends at Roman's and got a slice of pizza yesterday for lunch. Andrew doesn't know this; he's just finding out, and a cupcake. But it was early in the day, so I didn't want it sitting around all day to bring home to Andrew. But I went and I got it, and we had like no one in the store for like an hour. No one in the store. I took a bite of that pizza. People in the store. I said, what is this? Susan exercised, dusted, read the local paper, did laundry, and made some earrings. That sounds like a very productive day. I need to dust. I started trying to do some dusting and things here at the store. It needs it. Got together with my old lady friends from work Saturday, had a nice luncheon. That's nice. That's a good way to spend a Saturday. Amanda looked through her Desert Discoveries box again, starting to design things in your head. That's good. Good. Harry says, I did a fold-formed copper piece, used red cold enamel by Pembeo on the copper. I don't know what that is. Andrew might know. I do not. Andrew says, on Friday night, I went to the Allegheny Metals Collective meetup and saw Courtney Powell do a really good demo on powder coating. Yeah, I didn't go to that because why? Oh, I was trying to edit the video for Saturday morning, which didn't happen, y'all. I posted a notice that it was not going to happen. So yeah, that was time I could have gone to the Metals Collective with Andrew, but I did not because I was going to edit a video that didn't work out. But when I started going through the video, I realized that the camera had focused on the background of what Jen was doing, but did not focus on anything that Jen was doing. And she thought it was in focus because she can see it as she's watching it. But because it's a smaller screen, I think she couldn't tell that it wasn't in focus. And when I put it on my laptop, I was like, usually I zoom in on things whenever she's working and when I digitally zoom and stuff. And it was so fuzzy. And it was like until about 30 or 40 minutes into the project, it didn't focus on what she was doing. And while you could still tell what she was doing, I didn't feel it was right to put it out. So that's why we didn't have a Saturday morning tutorial this Saturday. We're going to refilm this week, and it might be the same one. It might not. I don't know what Jen has planned, but we're going to work on that. And I told Jen, I said, I wish I would have looked at this earlier in the week, but neither one of us had the time to refilm anyway. So even if we would have found out earlier, it wouldn't have made any difference. Let's see here. Andrew says, maybe that will be a kick in the pants to get my setup situated. Oh, your powder coating. Yeah. Everyone's saying, Suzanne, hope your friend is home and comfortable and doing well. Yes. Good vibes out there. Good vibes to your friend. It's hard. It's hard when you're dealing with something and then you feel like your doctors aren't on your side or aren't helping. It's really difficult. Janice says, I've had numerous neurologists that didn't care. It's frustrating. Thankfully, I have a great one now. That's good. That's good. Especially, I have, heard and from a lot of people that especially, things that are mental, a lot of times people have a very hard time getting that sorted out because either people just don't believe them or, those are hard anyway, I think, to figure out what's going on. But especially when you have a lot of people that just don't believe that you're experiencing what you're experiencing. It's a hard thing. Norma says, I'm still having issues with the crumbling sidewalks, though. Too many tripping hazards. Other people on our neighborhood app have been complaining about the town sidewalks, too. That's hard. Yeah. We have a lot of kind of uneven-ish sidewalks sometimes, but luckily it doesn't bother me so much, but I definitely can understand how it could. I mean, I'll try not to talk about food, right? I know. It's not been too hard. I don't have a really hard time not eating for a day or so, because we eat, we have a long stretch in between when we eat anyway. So extending that a little longer and through sleeping, not that hard of a thing to do. 36 hours, definitely, I don't think is that difficult. It's just when I get something in my head that I'm like, ooh, that would taste really good. Like on a hot day like today, coleslaw, ooh, that'd be so good. Crunchy and cold and, ooh, yeah. So it's things like that. Hello, Susan. Thanks for tuning in. Susan says, I watched everything and everyone. I watched everything, anyone and everyone involved with my dad's care. They didn't like it and hated being challenged. So sad, too bad on their part. Yeah. I don't think the doctors were fans of my mom and my aunt, but they took care of everything and made sure that things were done the right way. And my mom is not afraid. If there is need for a doctor or a nurse and they're ringing ringing the bell and no one's coming, my mom will go out in the middle of the hallway and shout until somebody comes to help when it's important. So she is not afraid. And sometimes they don't like that, but she gets them to do what they need to do. Oh, let's see. Jennifer says, so true. Small business owners never truly have a full day off. Tried to knock out my paperwork early, but still have a bit to finish. Yeah, it's hard. Susan wants a cupcake now, right? I don't usually eat cupcakes that much, but I really went for the cheesecake. They normally have cheesecake there, and that's what I wanted. Pizza slice and a cheesecake. But they didn't have cheesecake, and I already had my mind set on something sweet. So I was like, going to get the cupcake. Andrew said, once we get the new store situated, I might pick up a day. Plus, I'd love to get one person extra to help. That would be delightful. That would be delightful. Andrew says, the messier the food, the more people will come. Yeah, if you can't set your food down easily, or, it's something that like you get all over your fingers while you're eating, then an unlimited number of people will come through the store. I should just eat fake chicken wings all day long and have stuff on my hands, and then I'll be guaranteed business all day probably. Let's see here. Susan says, I still need to drag my lazy bones downstairs for yet more laundry. The laundry's never done. It's never done. And I don't know why, but we do all the laundry in the world, and I never have clothes for whatever season it is. I don't know how that is. When it's winter, all I can find are t-shirts. And when it's summer, all I can find are hoodies and long pants and thermal underwear. It's like, I have no idea why, but there is never the appropriate clothing for the appropriate season. And I don't understand it. It's like it's always in a vacuum somewhere out there in space until the season changes, and then the t-shirts flood in for winter. Let's see here. Susan says, I just found out from the lady friends that primary care docs no longer do rounds here. Hospital patients are assigned a PCP who is supposed to stay in touch with your regular doc. That happens a lot here. So I have a doctor, which reminds me I need to make an appointment. But I have a doctor, and he has about 6 helpers, whether they're nurses' aides or RNs or whatever. And about 1 in every 6 visits or so, I'm told that you actually get to see the doctor. And I only go like every 6 months. So in about 3 years, I should actually meet my doctor, because my old doctor retired and used to see him every other time. So I'd see him at least once a year. But now it can be multiple times before you see your doctor. And when my grandmother was in the hospital, and when my aunt went into the hospital for her heart, for her AFib and stuff, sometimes they would never see the doctor. Like, nurses would report in and they'd report out. At one point, I think they were giving them something that didn't sound right, and my mom was like, whoa. And they're like, well, the doctor said. And my mom went out again into the hallway and yelled until she got the doctor to actually come. And they were like, oh yeah, this isn't the right thing. So you gotta watch sometimes. Susan, now I want a slice of cheesecake. I know. Andrew says, my clothes disappear. Andrew says, ugly sweaters. Yeah, we have Christmas ugly sweaters. We can find every single ugly sweater we have for Christmas right now. But can I find a t-shirt to wear in the morning? Hardly ever. Harry says, we are going to have big, thick pork chops for supper. Didn't you have that the other day? Wasn't it like a 4-inch chop you were having the other day? Andrew says, we have like 2 of those, and somehow, yeah, they're everywhere. There's like, they multiplied. Suzanne says, my friend was just discharged. Thanks so much. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, let's see here. Susan says, wow, William, that's just no words. I know. It's crazy what goes on. So, yeah. So I've talked a little bit. I'm not going to talk too long today. We're gonna close this up pretty quick. I'm going to show you some things now. I have a headache, so it takes a lot of time to do this. Oh, Harry says, that was beef, thank you, a bone-in ribeye. So now you're getting into the pork chops. Nice, nice. All right. So I'm going to flip the camera around. We're going to look at some of my favorite things right now that I just happened to come across in the store today. And if you want any of these things, let's see how we're going to do it today. Let's say we're going to take a screenshot. So here you go. You can take a screenshot. To order from this video, take a screenshot of the item you'd like. Send it to us at info@allegorygallery.com. And again, of course, if you'd like to help our small business, share this video, give us a like or a thumbs up, and you can also, if you'd like, follow our business page on Facebook. Just hit that follow or like button, whichever it gives you, or subscribe to us if you're on YouTube. Thanks for watching. So let me flip this around and let's show you some of my favorite things today. Today's favorites, I guess, right? Told you, I'm fickle. Oh, and I knocked this stand over, and apparently I broke the handle off. So this is going to take a little bit longer to turn the handle to get this down than normal. That's great. I thought I was safe. My phone went flying off. The stand knocked over. I thought I was okay other than that. And oops, not that camera. Back ultra wide camera. There we go. There we go. Don't mind my mess. Okay, so I'm going to put this here because this is going to color correct us. Oh, and I am still, on my side, I am still mirrored. I got to turn that off. Now that makes sense to me. Okay, so, oh, headache, y'all, headache. So one of my favorite things are these lovely little dendritic agate slices. I love these so much. They're not drilled, so you could try drilling them if you'd like to, or you can wire wrap them. But these are $8 each, and I think they're just really, really pretty. I love this stuff. Like, I love the patterns that it makes, especially when it looks like trees or something like that. Plants. I think they're so cool. So these are little dendritic agate slices. There are a number of them, as you can see. But I just love these. And we don't sell a lot of them because people, you have to wire wrap them because they're not drilled. If these were drilled all the way through, they wouldn't even be here anymore. I don't even know why this one is not. That one's a little rough. I don't know about that one. But I think these are cool. If you like them too, they're $8 each. You could also set these as a ring if you wanted to, either a wire wrapped ring or a prong set, or you could bezel set them if you wanted to. They are flat. There wouldn't be much of a bezel though on those, probably, right? Just a little one. They're not too thick, but I think they're cool. If you like them too, take a screenshot. If you want a particular one, you can choose. Otherwise, we'll choose for you. All right. Next up. Now, I've just shown these recently, but I'm going to show them again because I love them. I love them, and I can't believe we even still have some of these. So these diamond-shaped. Andrew is good for amulet baggies too. Yeah. So this I picked out because these are my three favorites. We have the blue lace agate, we have the strawberry quartz, and this one is the AAA grade natural Amazonite. That's what I thought, but I was like, did I type that out right? Amazonite. So these are these little diamond shaped, really cool. They can make really cool earrings if you wanted to out of these. I think they'd be really nice. But we have these available. These are $38 a strand. $38 a strand, which I think is a stinking good price. That's a really good price. Andrew says, I have a collection of stones on my desk, and when there's a break between meetings, I'll play with the rocks, right? Susan says, I have the quartz version of this kite shape. Very cool. Yeah, these are awesome. These are awesome. And they're a little rough sometimes. Like, they're not all exactly the same shape, right? Like, some of these are a little bit off, but aren't we all a little wonky sometimes? I know I am. I'll speak for myself at least. But I think these are really awesome if you like them too. I mean, the color in this AAA grade natural Amazonite. Beautiful color in this strawberry quartz. Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. And if Mercury retrograde's knocking you out, blue chalcedony. This is blue lace agate with blue chalcedony. All right. So there's that. And then these. I love these. And so many people look at these. There's still a number of these. This is just a coated labradorite. But it's got that AB coating, and it's a faceted labradorite. These are, I believe, 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter or 1 centimeter. They're a beautiful gray labradorite with an extra flashy coating on them. Just really fun. And it's only $18 for the strand. Only 18 bucks. But aren't those nice? I think those are really nice. Great for earrings. Great for anything, really. Add a little pop of color. So there's that. Next up, I love these so much. I show these very often. These little discs of turquoise. These little discs of turquoise. You also get the little nuggets in between. Don't forget, you get those nuggets. Those can be useful too. But there's a lot of the black and the brown in here, which I think is really nice. That goes with the turquoise. And I think that really adds, like, isn't that beautiful? Like, look at that one. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's beautiful. So these ones are $52 for the strand. They are graduated. They are turquoise. This is vintage turquoise, by the way. Let me pull these. Let me slide these apart. Like, look at that. Isn't that cool? I know some of y'all have these because I know I've shown these a lot. I love them so much. I keep showing them. They have been one of my favorites a number of times. So you know they're sticking with me in my fickle self. They're a good buy. So these are $52 per strand. They are graduated turquoise discs along with turquoise nuggets. Little mini turquoise nuggets. All right. So if you want anything, take a screenshot, send it to us at info@allegorygallery.com. You can also name it or describe it. I think most of the things that I have today are pretty easy to describe. All right. I think they're pretty easy to describe. Then we have the chunky Roman glass here. Chunky monkey Roman glass. And the Roman glass is $40 a strand. Beautiful. I have 1 or 2 strands of this left. These chunkier pieces. So if you like the Roman glass, so this is glass made by the Romans. Oftentimes they used glass like we use gravel to make their roads harder. They also had, like glass dumps. Like we dump things. They had to get rid of things sometimes. And if it's a fully intact, beautiful vessel, it goes to a museum. If it's not, it's a cracked piece of glass. It comes out of the ground. It gets holes drilled in it from some friends we know, and then we buy it and sell it to you. Anne says, I've gotten a strand of that chunky Roman glass. It's so pretty and a good deal. Yeah, some people sell the Roman glass for hundreds of dollars a strand. Like you can see prices all over. I think we're one of the lowest at $40. And really that's because this is older stock for us. If we were buying it now, I don't even want to know what we might have to pay for it or charge you for it. But this is old stuff. We've had it in stock from before, I don't know if it was before the pandemic, but at least early in the pandemic. And so 40 bucks a strand, y'all. Good deal. I've seen it for upwards of like $132, $180 for a strand of Roman glass nowadays. Andrew says, I was recently at a show and saw that there were a lot of Roman glass, quote unquote, but it was fake. Plus the patina was not as good. Yeah, this is real stuff. This is real stuff. This is not fake stuff. These agate teardrops. I love these. How can you not love these? They're just beautiful, flat agate teardrops. The color is beautiful, gorgeous for summer stuff. If you're making summer earrings or summer jewelry, these would be great. Got that beautiful orange and yellow, along with that white. And this strand is only 10 bucks, y'all. $10. Where are you going to see $10 strands like that anymore? It's going to be harder and harder to find coming soon, right? Harder and harder to find. Oh yeah, and hi Anne, by the way. Anne's talking, but I don't know if I said you were here. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Next up, I love Charoite. So these are Charoite rough cut, top drilled teardrops. Charoite rough cut, top drilled teardrops. And Charoite has that beautiful shampoo-y effect. I don't know if you're going to see it in this camera and with my lighting, but these are lovely in color, in design, and style. I love this strand. I've probably shown it before. And says, hello to everyone. I just arrived. Nice. But that's some beautiful matrixy Charoite, right? And I love it. I'm here for it. This strand, we have one strand I think available. It's $45. $45 a strand for this gorgeous Charoite. Look at that one right there. Ooh, love that. All right. Next up, these are just nice rose quartz. You need some rose quartz, faceted rose quartz. These are 12 millimeter faceted rounds. You can see there's some nice color to that. You can barely see through them. There's a lot of nice pink color there. And these are $28 for the strand of 12 millimeter faceted round rose quartz. Only 28 bucks for the strand. I have a number of these available. There's a few. I won't say a lot. But if you like these, you can either send a screenshot or you can say the 12 millimeter faceted rose quartz. Send a description. So this is very pretty rose quartz. It is. It's really pretty. I don't know. I don't know. People love rose quartz. So we have a few strands of it available. And I love rose quartz. It's a pretty stone. Pretty stone. If you like pink, right? Okay. Now this is dyed stuff. Dyed shell, dyed mother of pearl. And it's this orange. I picked this orange. We have in some other colors, but I love this orange color right now. And I just think they're really pretty. It's not going to come off on you. It's dyed well. Gorgeous shell beads. And this strand is $8 only. $8. Look at that pretty color. And with that shell, it makes that color like iridescent. I love it. So maybe you want to do something a little beachy, or a little, oceany vibe kind of. That'd make a little pretty bracelet if you wanted to do something like that. Or some earrings, or mix and match it in with some other things to make a necklace. But for $8, you can't go wrong. Andrew says, I think this would be fun with peridot, citrusy. Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. Here's one of the next strands I wanted to show you. Now, this is vintage acrylic. Look how much fun it would be with those kind of citrusy colors, right? So there you go. Moving on to this piece. This one is $12. This is a vintage acrylic, and it's just super cool. And I know some of you out there are playing with some of these funky shaped vintage beads. So I thought maybe I'll show you some of these, some of my favorites of those. So this is, I think there's only one strand of this left. So if you like it, grab it. Only $12 for the whole strand. It's a good deal. Those are some nice big pieces. They are generally around, what, 30 millimeter by about 22. 30 millimeter by 22. Sue says those are chunky monkeys. They are, but super light because they're acrylic. They are super light. Like, I don't think you'd have any issues with that in your ear. Andrew says, I don't know. I think I'd pair this with some koi fish. Right? I don't know. I don't know what you pair that with. What would you all pair this with if you were designing? Maybe I should ask that question more often. What would you pair this with to get everyone thinking, right? Get everyone thinking about how you'd use it or giving ideas about how you'd use it. Because I think sometimes things don't sell. Things like this that are different don't sell because nobody knows what they do with it. Maybe I'll just start asking and make people throw out ideas. How would you design with this? What would you do? What would you pair this with? I think it's really cool though. Diane says, I keep picking that up and playing with it when I'm in the store. I'm not a yellow person though, so I probably wouldn't use it. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not a yellow person either so much because it doesn't look good on me, but I think these are cool. Susan says maybe use it with check glass or carnelian. Could very well go with. There's a lot of different kind of check glass out there, right? Would you make earrings with it? Would you use it as pendants? Would you try to make a big honkin' necklace with some other big beads in between? We have some big wood beads. They're about this big. I think they could look really cool in between. Let me look at that. Hold on, I'll be right back. I don't know. How about you could do something like that with the wood, make some really big, make a big statement necklace for those of you who like the big chunky stuff. I think that's a pretty combination. There's kind of some of those yellow tones in the wood that pulls out with the yellow. Suzanne would make statement earrings. Nice. Andrew said, there was a book we read for book club, and one of the characters had goldfish in their bra. It made me think of them swimming around in a pond. There you go. I love these big beads, too. If you like these are $16 a strand. They're about 24 millimeter rounds, if you like these wood beads. But I think that'd be really cool together, right? A big chunky necklace, or maybe use some big wood beads, like these two big ones, put one of those in the middle, and then do some other wood rounds that get smaller and smaller just to make it, lighter as you go up. I don't know. I think those are nice together. All right. Next up, blue kyanite. Andrew says, or maybe something Twiggy style with a mod vibe. Yeah, mod, I think that's going to come back. I think it is coming back. Blue kyanite chips. These are about 7 millimeter chips of blue kyanite. Beautiful quality blue kyanite. These are 28 a strand. 28 a strand. These little blue kyanite chips. If you're just joining us, welcome. If you'd like to purchase anything from this video, how you do that is scrolling down below, take a screenshot of it, send us that screenshot to info@allegorygallery.com. So So $28 a strand. Blue kyanite smooth chips around 7mm. They'll give, it's here and there, plus or minus a few millimeters maybe, but generally around 7mm chips. I think I have 2 strands of this left, and that is it. So really pretty. I love these. I think it's a really nice quality blue kyanite too. And you don't see blue kyanite always like this, in this kind of smoothed, almost matte kind of finish. So there's that one. And another chip one that I really like right now is the Peruvian pink opal chips. These are about 7mm again. And these are 25 a strand. And I think I have 1 or 2 of these left. This may be the last one. Look at that. Look at that one in there. There's some really gemmy ones. There's some lighter colors, some more pastel-like ones. Andrew says, I would probably make stacking stone earring with these. I used to sell those all day. Hello, Elise. Welcome back. Glad you could join us again today. Says afternoon, everyone. So here we go. So these are about 7mm chips. They are Peruvian pink opal, and they are $25 per strand. $25 per strand. I think they're lovely. And what if you combined those? What if you made some stacking ones and you combined these together and stacked alternating, or stack 1 blue for every 2 pink, play around with patterning in those. I think those would be really fun for summertime right now. Going to the beach, you got the shell color, almost that pink shell color of the Peruvian pink opal with the blue like ocean water. I think these would be really, really beautiful if you did the stacked earrings like Andrew said, but mixing and matching these colors together. So there you go. Another vintage, these are vintage resin, and I have 1 strand of these vintage resin beads. I just love these. I play with these a lot and just sit here and spin them. So these are really cool. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads. They are those center drilled resin. They're a beautiful orange. Andrew says, in the cairn style I make, I'd grade them by size and put the bigger ones on the bottom and go smaller towards the top. This one is vintage resin, and these are $14 for these vintage resin beads. These are super cool too, and super light. Good earring stuff right there. Good earring stuff right there if you just want fun earrings. And also in the vintage resin, these. I probably pick these up and play with them at least once a week. At least once a week. Andrew said, cairns are supposed to symbolize finding the way or paying tribute. Susan says, talk about crazy mod style, channeling Edie Sedgwick. Yeah, these are cool. These are cool. Definitely that mod style. I love these because, as you can see, you can use them like this, or you can float things in there and play around with other shapes. Maybe put a round in there to float around. Could be really cool for earrings if you were floating different things in there in the earring. Andrew says the stays on, I'll hit that, the stays on ink really adheres well to the carved resin. So there you go, everybody. If you wanted to ink them up, you could do that one. Harry said the red ones here look like eyeglasses. Yeah, they do, right? Kind of do. There you go. Have some eyeglasses. But I think these are super cool. I'd like to see these done as earrings with something floating in between. I think that'd be really cool. Like maybe a blue, or maybe even some of these blue chips. How about that? You could put some blue chips in there. I think blue's a really pretty color with this. You could string up the blue chips in between the red. I don't know, something like that. I guess maybe if I do them on this side, it would make more sense. There you go. Kind of like that. I think that could be pretty. right? Yeah, why not? And it says, talking about mod style, now I want a whole bunch of new clothes. That's the hard part, right? That's the hard part. Andrew just said, and chips in the negative space, right? There you go. We had the same idea. Chips in the negative space. Hello, Vanessa. Thanks for joining us. Coming in from Dallas. Dallas. Okay, I have one strand of this left in the store. This is ametrine. These are AAA grade ametrine beads. These are 12 millimeter smooth rounds of ametrine. If you've seen my favorites, you've probably seen these before because I love amethyst and I love citrine. They are the same thing. Heated amethyst, whether it's heated by man or heated in the ground, turns to citrine, right? So same composition, same stone. $50 for the strand. This is a very nice quality strand. You can see that. Look how clear these are. Very clear. Hello, Cindy. Thanks for joining us today. Beautiful ametrine rounds. Again, these are 12 millimeter ametrine smooth rounds, $50, one strand left here in the store. Next up, what do I got here? Garnets. Garnet strands, 12 millimeter to 10 millimeter. They are graduated smooth ovals in garnet. These, I love garnets. Whether they're red, whether they're this kind of almost, I don't know, raspberry kind of color, whether they're a brown garnet. Garnets are just a pretty, pretty stone. And these are a nice quality oval, slightly graduated from about 10 to 12 millimeters. You can see the largest ones are down here, and they go up to here. This is $98 for the strand. $98 for the strand. Susan said all it needs are spacers and a clasp. For that ametrine, yes, that's it. That's it. Now this is done up on a clasp already. You can wear this as it is if you want to, but these are sterling. So if you are going to take these apart, keep a hold of these, the chain and the link. All right, so those are garnets. And the last strand that I have for you today is this black tourmaline. Now these are like that charoite. These are those top drilled rough teardrops, but this is in black tourmaline. You need to ward away some negative energy, use some black tourmaline, get rid of that negative energy. And I think there's only one strand of this remaining. It's a really cool strand. This one is, what I say, $40. $40 only for the black tourmaline, rough cut, top drilled drops. And they are flat, mostly flat. Sometimes there's a little bit of a facet or whatever, but they're mostly flat on the sides. I think these are really cool. I don't know. Yeah, they're roughly about 14 by 20 millimeter, by the way. About 14 by 20 millimeter. It's just a rough kind of, picked an average. Love those. And then we have this big, we're talking about some big stuff here. We have this big copal amber pendant. This is $84. $84. Just a giant copal amber pendant. You can see this one is, let me do it in inches here because this is about 3.5 by 2 inches. In millimeters, that's about 85 or somewhere about there, 85 by about 50 millimeters. I think this is so cool, and it's super duper light. Super duper light. And so $84 for that. Only one of those. We only got one of those, y'all. And, you know, it's been sitting in a case, and I kind of forgot about it. And I was looking around today as I was moving things around. I'm like, this is pretty dang awesome. This is pretty dang awesome, and a good price for that. And then the last thing I have to show you, this is from our friend Kelly Russell. This is a pendant from Kelly Russell. It has polymer clay. This is polymer clay on the front, and then fine silver on the back. Fine silver. She did this butterfly on the back, and then the polymer clay, and they're sandwiched together to create this beautiful pendant. And this is only $70. This should be a lot more, y'all, but we got it where we can sell it at $70 to you. So fine silver and polymer clay. Andrew said, I haven't heard from her in a while. I see her once in a while online, but not much. Not much these days. We did do a podcast with her, and I believe I published that episode. I think I published that episode and the one with Christy. They were here at the same time. Christy Friesen and Kelly Russell, two great polymer clay workers, visited us at the same time. And we did a roundtable discussion with me and Andrew and Kelly and Christy. And that is the next episode that's going to go up. I don't think I've debuted that one yet on YouTube. These are all older episodes that I'm catching up on YouTube. So if you haven't listened to them yet, you can listen on YouTube under our podcast tab on YouTube. And I'll be uploading the roundtable discussions soon, probably sometime this week. So that is amazingly only $70 as I drop it. Luckily, our floors are carpeted. So yeah, only $70. That's a really good deal, y'all. That's a really good deal. I did lose the tag as I dropped it though. So $70. Suzanne says, I have another one of her pendants I got from you. Yeah, I thought you got one of these. It was in this series too, if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful. So that's it for me, y'all. Let me flip the camera around real quick again. And try to wind this up. Andrew says, during the individual interviews, we made the other one be quiet. So every now and then you can hear giggling in the background. It's true. It's true. We did that, and you can hear that. So if you've not listened to those yet, you can listen to them on YouTube. You can also listen to them on Apple Music, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, on Spotify Podcasts. Allegory Gallery Interviews is our podcast. And you can find that in most places where you listen to podcasts. You can also listen to it directly on our website at allegorygallery.com. And like I said, we are uploading the old episodes to YouTube so that when we do start doing new ones, they will also be on YouTube as well. So everything everywhere. We try to have everything everywhere. So thank you all so much for tuning in today. I know it was a fairly quick one today, but I've got a headache. I'm going to go home and take more medicine and try not to eat food because I'm fasting and see how that goes tonight. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up eating dinner. I don't know. When I have a headache, kind of anything like exercise, fasting, all that goes out the window sometimes. So we'll see. We'll see, right? Lorraine says, beautiful, beautiful beads, William. Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, if you want to purchase anything, take a screenshot or a very good description. I didn't show you too much today, so description should be pretty easy. And send them to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. That's scrolling along here, and it's up here. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great Monday evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is in your neck of the woods. And Andrew will be here tomorrow with a Tuesday tutorial of some sort, I think. And then I will see you back here for the live sometime on Wednesday. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a good one. Bye now.